There we go. Is the sound back? There we go. Yep. Fantasia. Okay, so yeah, it ended on YouTube. Then another video started by release. Fucking internet's fucking with me. It's because it's raining, dude. Can't fucking control it because of the fucking rain. At least we're back up though on YouTube. Well, guys, I apologize about that. Hmm. There we go. There we go. We got everything back up.
Glaring bits of controversy that have come out. And look, at the end of the day, there's plenty of monster capturing games out there. You can go into the Digimon franchise. You can go into, I would say, Shin Megami in a way. Shin Megami Tensei is kind of like a monster capturing type of game. And you might decide to jump into that franchise. And there's plenty of these types of games that exist. Even on Steam, games like Cassette Beasts exist, which if you're into monster capturing type games, Pokemon type stuff, they exist beyond just Palworld. Palworld just happens to capitalize on that whole survival aspect, that survival game, the Arc fix, the Pokemon fix that people have been craving for, but we'll get to that towards the end. So the next big allegation here, beyond just plagiarism or, copyright infringement, right, is the actual allegation of artificial intelligence. Now, for anybody that knows AI, generative AI,
this is the part that's getting me. I don't understand why people are even complaining about this. Okay, I understand why people are complaining about it. Let me rephrase this. I understand why people are complaining about it, but what's to the extent that people are complaining about it for? Like, because maybe some of the art was made AI generated, that's going to be a complaint, a major complaint.
in the world of art is kind of a taboo thing. A lot of people believe that AI, generative or whatever, computer artificial intelligence will take away jobs from, hardworking artists that exist.
That's
Now,
understandable.
look, I get that sentiment. I feel it 100%.
100%, I do.
But at the same time, a lot of companies are pushing for AI, and these tech companies, these big organizations, are going to get their sway. They are going to get what they want. With things like ChatGPT, with things like the Dolly image engine, there's going to be lots of AI, and it consistently gets better over time. Trying to stop it, in my opinion, is one of those things that is a waste of time. What should be done is actually focusing on laws that are centered around making sure the people who these
I get that part. Like AI is gonna make like artists have jobs really hard, but at the same time, like AI is gonna do that for everybody as far as anything related to a lot of stuff. AI is in general, AI is gonna be game changing. But I feel like an artist who makes good art is still going to be able to shine over AI. I still feel like music made by AI is probably gonna sound nice as fuck. Probably gonna sound amazing. Yeah, AI is gonna take it, but I still feel like the soul of everything, like the soul of music, the soul of art, the soul of games. Like an AI can make a game, but when the AI makes a game, the AI is not making a game with love of the games it was inspired by. It's making it just by making the game. It doesn't have those same kind of emotions. So as far as like how I look at it, when something's done with love, it feels different when it's done out of nothingness. and that's what AI will do. Now, art made out of nothingness is still going to look nice, especially the people who have no talent. If I go right now to AI and go get a piece of art drawn for myself, I'm going to feel fantastic because I can't draw a stick figure. I can't draw a stick figure to save my mother and my sister. Maybe to process emotions, I don't think it's going to get advanced enough to feel emotions because, like, maybe I'm wrong too. I could be completely wrong, but I think enough to process the fact that of emotions, that I'm supposed to be mad, I'm supposed to be this, but it's not going to have the same exact purpose. It's not going to feel hurt. It's not going to feel spite. It might want to hurt. It might not like the situation it's placed in, or just out of like logical sense or how it's set up, it doesn't want to be in this predicament no more. But as far as feeling sad and like expressing genuine emotions, I don't know. Maybe that'd be a crazy concept, because at that point then everything else I'm saying is irrelevant. But crazy 100%.
AIs train off of are protected legally. Okay, that's where I think the focus should be. You can't ever stop AI. It's the genie in the bottle that has jumped out. Okay, and honestly, all you can do is regulate at least how it trains and the type of data it takes, and trying to provide the people that it learns from some form of compensation, which I think is about the most fair thing imaginable. Look, we can have the AI art debate all day, every day, but it's not really going to get us anywhere that we haven't really discussed at all, even on this channel. So one of the actual posts that I saw was Palworld's success is proof that despite protestations, most people will cave and use an AI product because of some loophole. It's fun. It doesn't feel like AI. It'll be a sad day when this happens on a wide scale for other creative endeavors, books, music, art. It sucks. Now, I understand the sentiment over here, but it's so insane to see 8,000 likes and not a single shred of proof that AI has actually been used in this situation. So I decided to look at the actual history of this developer and see if AI was used or not. So, fact of the matter, the company that designed Palworld is known as Pocket Pair. Now, if you don't know Pocket Pair, they've made other games. So we're going to look at each and every single one of them, and we're going to see just how unique this game company is. So if you look at Nevergrave, for instance, Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse, if you actually scroll down and look at just the gameplay for it, you might notice, oh, damn, Muda, that looks a lot like Hollow Knight. I mean, literally, that is shot for shot. If you squint your eyes a little bit, it is very inspired by Hollow Knight. Their other big game is Craftopia, which is the open world survival crafting game. And by far, this might be the worst actual example. This might be worse than anything Palworld's done. If Nintendo isn't suing them for effectively creating
a Breath of the Wild
Unity asset flip version of Breath of the Wild, at least from this introduction cutscene. I haven't even seen this since I played this game, I would say a year ago, before any of this was introduced. This
Holy
is
shit. Holy shit. That is such... Holy shit.
Pretty bad. But again, it's a game with fishing, dungeoneering, vehicles, and whatnot. It's, again, just a crafting game with a very heavy inspiration from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So again, if you look even more, one of their games is AI Art Imposter. And this is where they actually brazenly showcase that they use artificial intelligence within it. So AI Art Imposter is a quick $7 video game where it literally is them actually using artificial intelligence. Now, this is the only game where they actually use generative artificial intelligence in order to...
It did. The art style was extremely similar to Palworld, so I can't say nothing on that one. But I mean, Palworld also does look like Breath of the Wild a little bit.
Facilitate their game. It very much is really them admitting that they are using AIs in their title. Now, is it a great game? I personally haven't jumped into it. I personally don't care too much about it. But this is a key example of one of their games actually using AI generative art. And they've fully admitted that this game does use it. It's not that they're hiding it or anything. So if they're so brazen about admitting it for one of their titles, they should pretty much be honest about admitting it for every other title that they put it into. And it's not even like the CEO of this company is against talking about how much they jerk off AI. So there's actually a couple tweets from them that are a bit eye-opening. So back around in March of 2023, literally Takuro Mizobi, who is literally the founder of Palworld, or this company, the game company behind them, and also a company known as Coincheck, which we'll get to in a bit. Takuro actually says, Pocket Pair, the result of introducing AI to improve business efficiency. Employees started to hand over all of their work to AI, but the quality was so high that they were disappointed. So yeah, this person enjoys AI. They believe this is actually a future. And again, here he's even discussing that they're having so much fun creating crazy artificial intelligence that they're not even making any progress at all. This person loves AI, okay? And this is a very important thing for them and their company. So again, I decided to look more into who Takuro was, and I wanted to see like what other companies that he was running. And one of them was Coincheck. Now, for those of you who don't know Coincheck, I believe this is their website. Own your first cryptocurrency on Coincheck. This is an exchange platform that is, again, headquartered in Japan at the moment. Now, again, what it appears to be is Coincheck is one of the companies that Takuro was like originally one of the founders on. They don't actually list him as a founder in their very recent like Wikipedia entry. And again, going to their website, I can't actually navigate and translate it properly, so I can't confirm if Takuro is exactly with the company as of now. But looking at Coincheck, they're basically a wallet and exchange service. And if you actually look down over here, they apparently have partnered with some pretty big names for Chinese, Hong Kong, and Taiwanese investors to start buying actual Japanese real estate with Bitcoin. Then they also have a hacking incident. Back in 2018, Coincheck was hacked for approximately 500 million NEM tokens, which equates to $530 million. What?
Wait,
Hold on a minute. That's a whole, I gotta write that video idea down. That's crazy. $500 million stolen. That is insane. We gotta look into that one, but that's for a later date. The currency was transferred through a total of 19
Holy
accounts,
shit.
one of which was found to have no connection with the hackers. The hack led two of Japan's cryptocurrency trade groups to merge into a new self-regulatory agency. You know when you fuck up so bad that they got to start making self-reg organizations just to make sure that this doesn't happen again, which is true. That should happen 100% of the time.
Yes.
But Jesus Christ, I'm still shocked by $530 million being stolen. After the hack, Coincheck suspended trading temporarily and reimbursed its customers for their losses. Okay, that's actually great, but I still want to know how $500 million got stolen, but that's not the point of today's video. So looking at Pocket Pair's website, I looked at their CEO. Again, this is Takuro Mizobe. And again, yes, 2014, they founded that company, Coincheck. They also founded Pocket Pair a year later. But see, if you look at their history, they're like joining JP Morgan Securities. Like this person seems like a fintech bro, somebody into AI, into things like cryptocurrency. And now they're spearheading game design, game development.
He was a DS developer at
again,
Nintendo
leads
Game
people to
Cinema.
insinuate that maybe
Cinema.
there's generative AI being used in Palworld. But there's no definitive proof one way or the other. So again, they started off with DS development at a Nintendo game seminar back in 2010. And this is when I dug even further into a Wired Japan article when they actually went and started discussing with him. And there was actually a quote that, I shit you not, is going to blow your mind. And this is by John Cartwright, who actually translated and mentioned this out. I've always loved Nintendo games, and that hasn't changed. I also deeply respect them. However, when it comes to making games, Nintendo has a strong philosophy of creating new and unique games with high quality. And this was questioned at the Nintendo Game Seminar. What? What, isn't that what you want? You want new and unique? That's what, listen, as much as I shit on Nintendo, I love when they make unique, genre-defining games, okay? 100%. Nintendo makes high-quality slop, okay? It is good slop. Let's not pretend otherwise.
Yes.
On the other hand, I have a deep-rooted desire for my work to be enjoyed by as many people as possible. And to that end, if there are good ideas in the world, I pick them up. And I don't necessarily have to be particular about originality. I'm thinking about it. I want to make it more casually, or rather, I want to make it more casually. I think it would be a good idea to create things in a way that just jumps on what is trendy, LOL. So, yeah, this guy doesn't really want to create things that are new and unique. And it kind of shows for a lot of the games in their list.
Yeah.
Look, whether you look at Craftopia, whether you look at Hollow Knight Electric Boogaloo, and whether you look at Palworld, clearly they are taking inspirations from well crafted ideas, like well established franchises like Pokemon, for instance, like Monster Hunter, like Ark Survival Evolved. They are taking the best bits and pieces and putting it together for the ultimate Steam slop, okay? That's effectively what we've got going on over here. So again, is this all generative artificial intelligence? Have they been using AI
Hey,
to
someone got my
produce this
base.
game? Doesn't seem like there's any actual evidence to that allegation, ladies and gentlemen. And look, when I think about AI, this is like what I guess some people are saying. It's like generate me an electric Pokemon that looks. Generate me an electric Pokemon. There it is. All right, boom. You can just ask Bing to produce this for you, and it's going to create a quick image. So let's let Bing cook for a minute. Then here it is, boys. Bing is done cooking. So when you actually look into Bing, you can see that, yes, it's generated me Pikachus. It's generated what appears to be this, I guess, Squirtle Pikachu crossover. And you got like a Raichu over here. So yeah, this is like, again, an AI's interpretation of what it could consider. And somebody could take this design, which I don't believe is an actual Pokemon, correct me if I'm wrong, and just turn that into a 3D model. And of course, fix up some of the issues that AI does with its generation. Look, there's nothing that says generative AI couldn't be used. Obviously, if it means that that's how they created like 100 designs and then 3D modeled whatever they had. Maybe they generated 1,000 different versions of like Pokemon and just specifically like, picked out the best 100 and then 3D modeled them. But if we look at some of the relationships to like actual Pokemon versus what they have in the game, it's clear that they are definitely inspired very heavily by actual Pokemon designs, and in some cases, even fan fake Pokemon designs, which is insane. Now, look, I think it's a safe way to say that one of their biggest controversies is how much they've been inspired. And look, at the end of the day, we can talk about parodies, we can talk about inspirations, but yes, none of this game is a direct one-to-one in terms of design, and nothing is really going to get taken to court. If it was going to get taken to court, it would have already gone through, in my opinion, considering this game and most of its like designs that are still carried into the final release were shown 2 years ago. The discussion around generative artificial intelligence is one of, I think, genuine concern. Look, there are artists that are worried heavily, 100%, about if their jobs are on the line. And look, the problem with AI is not so much how it takes away the jobs, is that in order to create the AI, it scrapes tons of actual copyrighted material off of the internet and learns off of it. Now, look, I'm also a realist. I get it. AI is the future, and companies are slowly perfecting these tools in order for them to actually start replacing or streamlining development of movies, television, music, and video games. It's just an unfortunate inevitability. But that being said, in a situation like this, it is an unfounded allegation. Yep. Because yes, even if the actual developer jerks off artificial intelligence like the second coming, it doesn't actually mean that it's part for the course over here. Now, the other big thing that I have to ask is, where did this game kind of come from and why is it selling millions of copies? Look, at the end of the day, I understand this game is actually in a perfect storm, right? It's got a bunch of streamers who are currently talking about it. I played this game and enjoyed it. I think what really works with this is obviously it's catering to a lot of niches like the Ark survival community, the survival game community, the Pokemon community, which has been so neglected and so underserved to its core fan base that now anybody can take what appears to be a Unreal Engine asset flip game like Palworld and just hype it up to no end. Because at the end of the day, the community, at least on PC and consoles that aren't Nintendo, want Pokemon games. Yeah. They want Pokemon with guns. They want a Pokemon game that actually has good quality attached to it. And like I said in my video a day ago, I really do think this game, at least from a quality perspective, feels better than whatever Game Freak has pooped out. But ultimately, that also being said, it's a game that is shipped day one, even in early access, to be relatively bug-free. And I think that really speaks for how fucked the industry is, when for us, a barometer of what is a good, enjoyable game is if it just works out of the box. Does it hit 60 frames a second? Does it run relatively well? Are the bugs kept to a minimum? That's our barometer for success. And honestly, in some ways, that's pretty sad to think about. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to look into the various controversies of Palworld. It's a game that, despite its popularity, has been marred in so much controversy that literally everyone I talk to either sucks this game off or hates it because of the allegations of artificial intelligence. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with the real intelligence to decide what's really the matter of the fact. I've looked through all of the facts. I've come to my own conclusions. Let me know what yours are. That said, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.
The latest Xbox
100%. He's an awesome person to follow. That's Some Ordinary Gamers. Oh, look at that. He's still alive.
Hello, guys
Some
and gals.
Ordinary Gamers, yeah. It's a really, really good video to watch. Really, really good guy to subscribe to. And then Palworld Backlash goes nuclear. Woke journalist attacks dev and Pokemon fans meltdown. This is gonna be the last one we watch before we start the game up.
It's Endymion, and if you're even remotely into keeping up with anything gaming-wise, you likely know right now that Palworld is absolutely blowing up across the internet. For those somehow unaware, Palworld is basically Pokemon Gun version, where you collect strange creatures and force them into balls while also being able to shoot them with an AK-47.
I'm still listening to the video, though.
Mercilessly work them to create your own utopia. Naturally, this game has drawn a lot of ire, mostly from Pokemon fans crying that it's ripping off their beloved IP. And there's one weirdo journalist trying to say that Palworld is awful because of animal cruelty. I'll also talk later in the video about whether Palworld's existence is enough basis for a massive lawsuit from Nintendo or not. And I have a lot to say on that, but to start, let's talk about this weirdo journalist. So this article comes from PCGamer.com and it's titled, Palworld could be a delight if it wasn't so invested in being awful, with the sub-headline saying, shockingly, animal cruelty doesn't make for a fulfilling experience. The general basis of PC Gamer's complaints is that Palworld feels less like a Pokemon game and more like a slave simulator, where you push your pals to create things for you, and as this journal states, the fact you can choose to work these critters harder on purpose for more gains doesn't sit well with them. Right from the get-go, I disagree, since as someone who identifies as a jaded original Pokemon fan, I think the series has long fallen into the throes of complacency years ago. And for multiple generations of Pokemon games, at least for me anyway, I've been shouting from the rooftops that Nintendo and Game Freak need to change and upgrade their flagship series. Just look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which are currently anyway the newest games in the series. As someone who has beaten every mainline Pokemon game to completion upon release, for the first time in my life, Violet remains the only game in the series I never actually completed. That's insane for me, because I've grown up my entire life playing Pokemon. But the sad realization I had while playing that was that this was a series which is ironically known for evolving their pocket monsters. But the actual structure surrounding Pokemon as a concept, it just refuses to evolve with the times. That doesn't only stem from the fact that Pokemon Violet and Scarlet to this day run pretty horribly. The graphics look terrible, and the mons themselves look worse than ever in my opinion. And I think when I look at Palworld anyway, I see something that is so evidently not being capitalized enough finally getting some much needed new ideas injected into the primary formula. This journal continues on where they complain that Palworld feels more like a slave simulator where you steal creatures from their habitats and then force them into doing your own bidding, which is funny because that's exactly what Pokemon is about too. The reality is when you first captured a Pidgey outside of Pallet Town, you were literally abducting some Mama Pidgey's baby. And now that family of Pidgeys just have no idea what happened to their sibling. And then you took that Pidgey, you gave it a nickname it didn't want, and then you forced it into fighting other creatures and evolving it. So what this journalist complains about is that one of Palworld's greatest sins of slave laboring small creatures is null and void. Because no matter how you look at it, it's technically the basis of what Pokemon already is anyway. Pokemon's world is effectively a worldwide cockfighting tournament.
What is with these disconnects, bro? That shit is bothersome in a motherfucker. Alright, guys. If any of y'all can still see me, we're waiting for it to reconnect. We're just waiting for it to reconnect real quickly.